Tools for engagement. Engagement. What is increased engagement? When we're talking about engagement, we mean increased activity. We talk about in the classroom, that one-to-one classroom, we want to engage those students. We want them to become active, whether they're becoming active with one another, emotionally involved, committed to the learning. That's what we mean by engagement. And there's certain conditions for student engagement. We need a connection, meaning helping students make connections with themselves and other people. The perplexity, creating a problem for the student that we want them to solve. And also curiosity, wanting them to find out why, to find out the answers to the questions. So there are 5 strategies to increasing engagement in your classroom. There are back channeling, online discussion boards, polling and collecting data, interactive feedback systems, and educational games. So I'm going to briefly describe each one of those and then provide 2 potential tools that you can use for each of those strategies. So back channeling. A back channel is a space students can use to share ideas and views. They have an inner circle of students discuss a question, find the evidence in the text, while then you have this outer circle of students who are observing, listening, posting comments in digital space. Then you're going to have those students switch roles and try the other hand on the other part that you asked them to do. So there are 2. There's more than 2, but 2 tools or 2 resources, digital tools that are using back channeling are todaysmeet.com and Padlet. So those are 2 suggestions of how you can use back channeling in the classroom. It tends to be a very, very effective way of engaging students because you have the students are communicating with one another and they're actually potentially using their research skills, so becoming more digital citizens and creative communicators. Online discussion boards. You can post questions about topics or lessons to extend the conversation. In your learning management system, most likely there is a discussion board tool, but some learning management systems don't. So you can try Schoology or Collaborate the Classroom. Online discussion boards are great because when you post the question or post a discussion of the topic, students can chime in and give their answers to those questions. But what's great is that other students comment on other students' post. And so it keeps the students engaged not only with the teacher, but with themselves. And of course, again, with online discussion boards, you will have to talk about what is the, protocol for discussion, not using profanity, using proper language, proper etiquette. So there's more to that than just posting a question and getting an answer. Polling data collection. You're going to collect data with their own devices, BYOD, bring your own devices. So you can look at this choice. You can use Google Forms to create a survey with multiple choice questions, get the link and then share it with the students in the class. Students can answer that survey and then a graph will pop up with all of the responses and you can share that with the class. That is actually a great way for the teacher to recognize how much the class is actually learning at that particular moment. You can actually do it in real time. So you can try Poll Everywhere or SurveyMonkey if you don't necessarily like Google Forms. Interactive feedback systems. You're trying to find out what your students know in real time. So basically, just like polling did, in real time, you can find out what your students know. Socrative or Nearpod are good at interactive feedback systems, meaning the teacher may be typing a comment as the student is writing their own comments, and it's in real time. So the student's getting that feedback right then. Educational games. That's kind of self-explanatory. You can post games in your class that students can play when their work is finished. Games are a great way to keep the students active while learning. And Kahoot is one of those tools that helps incorporate educational games into learning. So all those were 5 ways to increase engagement in the one-to-one classroom. And these 5 strategies will definitely make your classroom more personal and more active and have the students become more involved.